It's zombie revenge for the Sega Dreamcast. What did it want revenge for? I don't know. Stop asking questions. So this is a beat-em-up spin-off from the House of the Dead series. It was originally released in the arcades, but we're playing the Dreamcast version here. And yes, this is running on a real Dreamcast before any of you accuse me of using an emulator. Par for the course for a zombie game released in the 90s, the story is laughably awful, but I'll humour its attempts at storytelling out of the goodness of my heart. From what I can tell, the villain is a nihilistic crazy guy who unleashed the zombie plague on the unsuspecting public for reasons, I guess.
It's me, Goldman.
No, not that guy, this guy.
Doing this. You fool!
We play as free agents of the AMS, the stupidly named Stick Brightling, La Femme Linda Rota, and the manliest of all men, the coolest Japanese mofo who ever took up a 475, Rukia Busajima.
Are we still following this guy?
He's the one making the zombies.
Now that was a dumb question to ask, wasn't it, Linda? The gameplay combines hand-to-hand combat with weapons to create this cool dynamic where you're constantly weighing the effectiveness of each in any given situation. You can string together some pretty rad combos, especially if you're slicing up dudes with Rukia's knife. Badass. The zombies have guns? That's not fair. The guns are just so satisfying to use also. If you keep that reticule trained on the enemy until it goes red, you can blow them away with a charged shot that does a lot of damage and has a lot of stopping power. Each character also has their own special attacks if you hold down the attack button. Stick can throw enemies to the ground and kick them in the balls, Linda throws her ass at people, and Rukia can burst into flames! His body cannot contain the awesomeness.
Is that another zombie too?
Another zombie? There's loads! Aside from the different special moves, the characters also have different specialities. Rukia is the strongest physical attacker, but weak on the guns. Linda has the quickest trigger finger, but utterly useless in a fist fight. And Stick is a good all-rounder. Hey Stick, your name is stupid! And yes, I am aware of the hypocrisy of what I just said. There's tons of really cool weapons just lying around that you can pick up. Some of them are pretty useless though, like the hatchet. But there's also stuff like the flamethrower, which is just devastating.
This place is gonna explode in 3 minutes.
What? Why? The targeting can be a little annoying as well, especially when there's a lot of enemies around. It also suffers from picking up weapons when I was trying to do something else syndrome. The controls aren't the best, to be honest. They're sticky and they can take quite a bit of getting used to. Hold on everyone. I think Rukia has something to say. Compelling. Absolutely compelling. Rukia says so few words, and yet he conveys so much. These brief windows into his tortured soul are among my favourite parts of the narrative. I found a good strategy in this game to just shove enemies to the ground, especially the ones with guns. You have the sense that someone has a gun in this game. It's like Arkham Asylum. You just have to home in on the guy with a gun before he has a chance to fire. Guns seriously do a lot of damage in this game.
Shotgun.
Fine, I'll ride in the back seat.
By dawn, the god of destruction will be unleashed. All humans will die.
Nonsense.
Then why are you leading us around? What do you want us to do? Everyone, you say everyone is going to die?
This is why we don't let women in the AMS. They always break down and cry when the evil madman unveils his plan for human extinction. I couldn't actually finish this game. I kept running out of continues around
The House of the Dead.
That's too bad. I was looking forward to saying, Zed's dead, baby. Zed's dead. I'm just going to assume that Goldman was behind Zed's actions somehow. There's the arcade mode, which I'm guessing is identical to the version in the arcades. There's also an original mode which has more items and allows you to buff and debuff certain attacks. A fighting mode which gives you the ability to beat up Linda with Rukia.
What does a brother have to do to pacify a bitch?
There's a boss rush mode and also a VMU game, which I didn't have the chance to test because my VMU ran out of batteries over a decade ago, and I'm too lazy to replace them. Rukia is truly the best character in this game, and everything for that matter. No one can take him down in a fight. Except maybe Landy, but I like to think it will be a close call. So this is a really fun game. I've been slightly obsessed with it the last couple of days. It's not perfect, but like most Sega arcade games, it's just so much fun and ridiculous. The style is just silly and excessive, and the boss fights are really creative.
Because I spit hot fire.
It's obvious someone was having a lot of fun while making this. So if you still have your Dreamcast, I'd recommend looking for a copy of this.